What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Sistas season 6, episode 18. It's something about them being blindsided. Child, I'm not any longer blindsided by the foolishness on this show. Too many long scenes, wasting our time. Child, let's just get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in my life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force, yeah. Blessings we are reap and we coursing on full. Oh, in a rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks like we need it the most. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all for my life, man. But thank God for the journey, that's to the plus. Yeah. Gratitude is a must. Yeah. Blessings all for my right hand. What's a toast to the friends that they come to me? One time, sit down in a class and we pour that. Only see the road and the one with the road.
Looking for ways to improve your health? Look no further. Visit www.shayrenee.net, where we provide healing beyond the prescription pad. We have hand-blended teas and herbs that are going to provide you with ultimate immune health, cold-pressed juices, as well as sea moss gels that are going to provide you with your daily vitamins and nutrients in just 2 tablespoons. Shop www.shayrenee.net and receive free shipping on all orders over $75. Don't wait, because a healthy life is ahead. So y'all, this episode of Sistas, I don't know why I was expecting for us to finalize something, for us to figure some things out. Why did I ever set myself up for such expectations? Why did I do that? So the episode starts off. Gary is standing there stuttering. Okay. He want to act like he don't know Andy. Andy is like, oh, we don't know each other. Oh, okay. I would have blown him right on up right then and there. But the first thing I would have did if I was Andy is I would have said, so how do you two know each other? You supposed to be the lawyer, Andy. Why you not asking the questions? Okay. So she's standing there looking like a deer in headlights. And this point, wondering whether she gonna go along with the story or not. And I'm like, girl, what? So then the girls are over there and they see what's going on. Okay. So they're like, so what is Gary doing here? Mind you, y'all ain't see Gary at the bar when y'all was walking outside. Y'all ain't see him? Oh, okay. Okay. So moving on, Danny and Sabrina go over there and they're like, hey, Gary, how do you? Sabrina finally asked the right question. And she's like, how do you two know each other? And Gary is like, oh, I don't want to bore you with those details, And you know what, Jordan? Divorce is it's a really hard thing. I totally understand. I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta make some phone calls. I gotta get on out. I gotta head on out, But I'll talk to you. We'll catch up. Hey, Tony, Rich, gotta catch you on the golf course. Yeah. Why are you talking about this man's divorce so randomly? It's not like he just got divorced yesterday. And we're going to learn, have you been engaged to his sister for 3 years? Why are you just now saying something about that now in this moment with Andy standing there? Why would you even bring that up with your potential, your future brother-in-law in front of a girl that he's dating? It wasn't even the benefit. It didn't even come out as if he was trying to say, hey, Andy, he used to be married. You better watch out. It wasn't even like he was saying that. It just didn't have proper placement. I'm telling y'all, Tyler Perry keeps on telling them, hey, here's the scenario. Go. And they just wasting time. This whole scene was entirely too long. So the ladies go inside and they're all questioning, like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is Gary here? How do these people know each other? Like, what's really going on out here? Okay. So Gary is acting really, really weird. Then he goes outside and he's talking to Jordan. Okay. So Danny is like, something's building up, something's a brewing, and I want to know what's going on. I'm about to put the phone on top of this joker. Hey, Gary, she goes outside. She's like, hey, Gary, come on, come in. Come on in here, brother. Come on in here. So she tells Gary to come, she gets Gary to come back in the house. Okay. So then Rich and Tony come out. All the guys are talking and they're like, Gary, you always trying to leave. Like, what's going on? Like, hang out with us for a little bit. So as they're talking, his pregnant fiance, Penelope, which is also Jordan's sister, comes a waddling in. Now, let me tell you something, Tyler Perry. I know you got a little coin. That prosthetic was terrible. We could see where it latches in the back. Yeah. When y'all went to go do the little dance, see Pooh, we could see the Velcro from the back of her prostheses. Is that the same one you're gonna give to Karen eventually? Cause she already sitting down with the wide stance and her stomach ain't but so daggone big. I, Child, these people ain't gonna be pregnant long on these shows because I don't think Tyler Perry know how to have nobody damn pregnant. Anyway, moving on. We learned that Gary and Penelope have been together for 3 years. And, Andy is like, wow, he must really, really he really is doing a fool out here. He was married, he had kids with his wife, then you over my damn house, and now you got a whole nother woman pregnant that you was with for 3 years. You are a humdinger. Like, this man is really trash. So then Penelope says, so Andy, my brother, really, really likes you. And she just goes on and on about how Jordan really likes Andy. And I'm like, y'all have no idea what the hell is going on right now. So Gary is just looking like a deer in the headlights. He is so caught up. And I just don't understand how nobody acknowledges what's really happening here. Gary looks extremely nervous. Let's not even if we go back to when all of his assets were seized, she must have been dealing with him around this time. So all your assets are seized. His ex-wife was crazy. She found Andy. Why didn't she find this chick? Like, does she know that this man was previously married? And where are Gary's other children? So you got this woman pregnant. Where is your ex-wife? Because apparently she survived the crash and all that, her falling on the car and all that. Like, where's your kids at? Tyler Perry, this writing is all over the place. I cannot wait until we get these new writers because there is no cohesion with any of this story. So moving on, they Andy says that she don't want to deal with this situation right now because Penelope drives the situation with all the guys and the girls there. She's like, hey, girls, come on, let's come over to the couch and let's talk. And the guys are like, yeah, Gary, let's go outside and chat. So the girls kind of huddle. She's like, wait, Danny's like, wait, we'll be over there in a minute, Penelope. So Penelope goes and sits down and Danny's like, yeah, make sure you put a pillow on your back, all that good stuff. So they're talking and Andy is like, we've got to get the hell out of here. Like, I don't even want to be in the middle of any of this. And Danny is like, oh no, I'm going to tell her. I am going to blow this popsicle stand. I am going to tell her what's going on. And yeah, she deserves to know. And Andy is like, no. And Sabrina's like, she's pregnant, Danny. And I'm like, I'm with Danny at this point. Let's tell her because she needs to know what this man is doing to her or what he could potentially be doing. Like, he was apparently abusive to the ex-wife. You don't know if the ex-wife is still around, if she gonna come back and be being all crazy. Is she in jail? Is you gonna marry this man? And does he owe child support on the other children? This lady don't know what she's getting herself into, really. And you just sitting here. It's not like you knew about her. So it's not your fault. You would just be telling her, girl, listen, I hate to tell you this right now, but this man, he the one bought me the Rolls Royce and he got me a whole penthouse trying to control me. I don't want that to happen to you, sis. That's what she needs to be having a conversation with Penelope about. Not constantly listening to Penelope talking about how much her brother loves her. Is infatuated with Andy and don't even know Andy. Now Andy looking like the bomb. Okay, she over here looking good, but that man, he don't know what he getting himself into with Miss Andy. Okay, so moving on, we get to the next scene, which was a waste of time. Karen has, which Jason Weaver, like Jason Weaver, this is not the show for you. Like Jason Weaver is a very good actor. He deserves to be on television sets where there's real lines, there's real story, he's too good of an actor for this bullshit. That's what I think. I think it's very disrespectful to have Jason Weaver on your cast and it's so unorganized. Like, does he really need work this bad? So he in this scene with Karen. They talk about the bed. She acts like it's too much, but then he says that she's a single mom. He's an expert on children. Him and his wife. If she wants some clothes, he got a bunch of hand me downs because he got a bunch of kids. That's all we got out of this. This scene was entirely too long to be talking about that. Are you going to let the man build it or not? Obviously, she is. So he leaves. Then she calls Pam and tells Pam to get a whole bunch of products and bring them to her house. And she propositions Pam. We didn't need to go back to on another scene with this. She could have just did all this right then and there. She tells Pam, we're going to just work out of my house. It's going to take him 5 months to rebuild the salon. He gave me a really good quote, and you can work with me part-time. And Pam is like, I know you lying part-time. I got full-time bills. What the hell? So she didn't turn it down. So Pam is like, okay, you want me to get all these products. How am I pay for it? And Karen is like, I pay my bills, Pam. We can still put it on my account. So she gonna get products and be a kitchen hairstylist until her salon opens back up. Moving on. Calvin and Maurice are at their apartment. Calvin says he wants to take Maurice out because Maurice has been in the slumps. He gonna take him out to meet some nice guys. Maurice is like, I don't want you picking out my men because you don't know what you're doing. Then Calvin says, whoever you pick, just don't bring them back to the damn house. And Maurice is like, I'm gonna do what I want. I'll bring whoever I want back here. I don't care. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, this is a wasted scene too. Moving on. So Fatima and Zack go to see how Michael is doing. And as they get out of the car to walk up to the apartment, Miss Shirley, I think that's her name, she comes, walks up, and she says, oh, they not in there. And Zack and Fatima are like, where are they? She was like, well, he was this is the nosy neighbor, okay? So she's like, he was wobbling around and crying earlier, holding his back or something. He was really, really hurting. So I imagine they went to the hospital. So Zack and Fatima are like, oh my gosh, are you sure? Okay, we got to get up to the hospital. So she's like, yeah, it's really bad. Like, and I'm like, this is really interesting that this lady sees all this stuff that's going on. You're documenting all these things that are happening, but you're not calling Child Protective Services because the lawyer, Wesley, said, it's really crazy that this is, I'm sorry that this is happening to your son, but there's nothing on file. Like nobody has reported any of these incidents. So it's really hard with this emergency hearing for us to really have a leg to stand on. And I'm like, this lady knows everything that's going on. She said that she was calling, but she's not. Who is she calling? Is you calling on Jesus? Which that's a good person to call. But you need to call somebody that's documenting this stuff. Like, I just didn't get it. So Zack goes to give her some money and says, listen, if we're going to go up to the hospital, but if they come back here or anybody comes back here, just let us know so we can show up. So the lady is offended that he's trying to give her money. She was like, I don't do this for no money. I'm doing this because I want to protect him. And, I just want to, I see what's going on in the neighborhood and I just, blah, blah, blah. So this scene took entirely too long. She's going back and forth talking about, it was really giving me the mother vibes off of Bruz, where she just goes on these random tangents talking about nothing and just cussing for no reason. And now we have this lady from 227 out the window, the nosy neighbor, that know what was everything that's going on, but ain't called nobody to say nothing. So she eventually says, okay, well, since you're sorry, I'll take the money. So she takes the money. And I'm like, if I'm Zack and Fatima, I would be like, well, we noticed, I mean, we went to a lawyer and they said that nobody has called to report any of these incidents. Can you please, when you see this stuff, call and report it? That's what I would have been saying to her. And then I would have gave her the money. I'd have been like, listen, none of this stuff has been documented. We need this stuff to be documented because we're trying to do what's right to get him in a safer environment. The best way for you to help us is if you will call Child Protective Services to make sure that he's okay. Like, we have to call, we have to get the stuff documented. But no, you just passing her money for giving you information she was already going to give you anyway. Child, moving on. So they go get in the car. They go to the hospital and they say that they couldn't find him because they don't know Michael's last name. How the fuck y'all don't know his last name? You filing paperwork, right? You getting an emergency hearing to get him, right? You paid her child support so that you can get out of jail, right? You did a blood test to make sure he was your kid, right? So how you don't know his last name? This don't make no damn sense. None of it makes any sense. Okay? Tyler Perry, did you forget all of this when you wrote this? Like, this man, Zack and Fatima just sat in a court, in a law office to get somebody to get an emergency hearing for Michael. But you don't know his last name. But Zack, you had to pay child support so that you could get out of jail when she had you locked up because she been trying to find you. Yet you've had a job since you got out of jail, but she couldn't find you. I'm irritated. Write the story, Tyler Perry. Write it. Stop letting them freestyle the lines. It's making the scenes way too long, and the story is no longer cohesive. It doesn't make any sense. There's no way that you're going to tell me you don't know this little boy's last name. So y'all, they get in the car. Zack and Fatima begin to talk, okay? Fatima talks about how Zack is like, I just can't believe you putting up with all of this stuff. I can't believe that this is happening to him. I just really want to get my son. I want him to be okay. I just hate that he has to deal with this stuff. So he's like, how are you dealing with this, Fatima? Like, I don't understand how you still here. And she's like, well, you know, I could have easily had a kid too because I got pregnant in high school and I lost it. So I could easily have a kid too. And Zack's like, well, that's not the same thing. I was just out here being reckless. I wish I was more, responsible with my situation. And she's like, well, you're going to be a great dad. Mind you, she already has told him that she's pregnant in Fatima. So this lets me know that this is not cohesive with Sistas, because he knows that she's pregnant in Fatima, but obviously he doesn't know that she's pregnant in this season of Sistas. So their main focus right now in the conversation is, how they're going to treat their future children if they potentially have any, and how he wants to have a kid with Fatima and he would be excited if she was pregnant. And then she says, okay, well, let's just focus on the kids that you do have. Mind you, you talking about he has 2 children. Y'all need to be talking about getting a blood test from Karen, because you don't know if that's your kid or not. So you sitting up here claiming a kid that you don't even know. Child, I'm done. So moving on. The ladies are over there talking to Penelope. This is in the next scene. Gary also bought Penelope a car and an apartment. And, the lady said, "Oh, well, what kind of car did he get you? Was it a Rolls Royce?" And Penelope says, "Oh no, I would never want a car like that. That's just too flashy, and I just think that people that have those are just really pretentious. Like, if it's so many people out here that can hardly pay their bills, that's just too flashy for me. I would feel so bad driving something like that." And she said people that have cars like that just must need attention. So is this Tyler Perry's way of saying that Andy is materialistic? She wants to be seen, and but nobody really pays her. She wants to be seen. She wants to feel glamorous and this, that, and the third. That's her personality. Penelope ain't like that. Okay. So Andy is a person that feels like she has to fight hard to get everything that she has. She wants to be this top lawyer. Like Andy does things where she wants to be seen wearing these tight pantsuits to work because she wants people to be grueling over the men to be googly eyed over her. She needs attention. But Andy don't love her damn self. That's her problem. But I feel like that's what Tyler Perry is trying to pull across. But he doesn't allow us to really get to know Andy because he just always has us on here looking at her like she's just some high maintenance fool. And I know there has to be more to her than that. I know there has to be. But at the end of the day, Andy, you just keep on. I would not have ever let Gary sit there and continue to embarrass me like this. I would have snitched on him as soon as I seen that girl. Or I would have told her brother, "Oh yeah, I know Gary. We used to date. Bought me a penthouse and a car." That's what I would have said. And I would have let Jordan be like, "You did what? How long y'all been dating?" "Oh yeah, we just broke up like a couple weeks ago, actually." "Oh, really?" That's how the scene should have went. That would have been way more entertaining and it would have created more story. But Tyler Perry want to do this long, drawn out situation where there's no lines, everybody just saying anything. It's just too much. So Penelope continues to go on and on about her wedding dress and shows them the dress. Danny says, "I'm not gonna be able to hold this much longer. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go ahead and let this right on out. I'm gonna have to tell this lady what's going on. Y'all over here playing games with this girl." And so Tony comes out of nowhere and grabs Danny, talking about he wants to dance. Now, mind you, haha, haha, Tony, you listen to all of Danny's conversations. Haven't you heard her say Gary when talking to Andy? You know about all of them men, all the queen's horses and all the queen's men, and that couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. You know all the sisters' business, right? So is that why you came over to grab Danny? You act like you didn't know that Danny knew Gary when y'all were sitting at the table when y'all first encountered Gary. But now you're coming over here to snatch her up because you must have realized, is this the Gary that she talks to the girls about on the phone? Is that why you came over there to snatch her up first? So they go to dance. Rich comes over and grabs Sabrina to dance. Then Penelope is like, "Come on, Jordan, ask her to dance." And Andy's like, "No, no, no, I don't really dance either." And Jordan's like, "I don't know how to dance." And so Penelope pushes him to ask Andy to dance. And Gary pulls up Penelope to dance. So everybody dancing. Jordan is talking to Andy and he says, "Yeah, I'm just really so excited that my sister has found, Gary, because Gary's such a nice guy. And there's so many bad guys out here, so many bad ones." And Andy like, "Don't I know it?" Mind you, Penelope done told her how great and amazing Jordan is. He's so attentive. He's so loving and caring, just like their father. And she would never be with anybody that's a cheater because Jordan is so loyal, like their daddy. But look who you've allowed to put their spawn inside of you. Gary. I'm just like, y'all don't notice how Gary is just looking so suspect. This man looks extremely uncomfortable. She talks about how he's always traveling for work. Girl, what? Have you ever seen his office? Like, the man is always there spying on Andy. Unbelievable. Yeah, a total mess. So they're dancing, everybody dancing into the moonlight. They smell something burning. So all the men and Penelope run outside, which I don't know why the hell they would have the pregnant lady running outside to see what's going on with the damn smoke. So the ladies are inside, and Andy is like, she grabs all their purses. She was like, we gotta get the hell up on out of here. And Danny's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying. I'm having a good time. And Andy's like, Danny, get yourself together. We have got to get out of here. And Danny was like, listen, I'm going to tell her. Either I'm going to tell her or you going to tell her. Somebody going to tell her. Sabrina's like, but Danny, she's pregnant. We don't want to. She was like, okay. So she was like, I don't want to hurt her. And Andy's like, I really just don't want to hurt her. And Danny's like, no, he's hurting 2 black women. That's what I'm hearing y'all say. He's hurting 2 black women. Just because it doesn't make it right. We have got to tell her what's going on. She needs to know what she's dealing with. So Penelope comes back in and she's like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? So now they're going to have to tell her, I guess, in the next episode. We could have been told her if we had soaked up some of these old dry ass scenes that wasn't talking about goddamn nothing, that was too freaking long, child. But let's get into the comments because it really wasn't much to this episode. My girl Angie is in the building. What's up, Angie? Angie says, hello, Shay Renee. Hey, boo. Good evening. Good evening, sis. How you be? Angie says, Shay, I need the wrench, queen. I got you. I got to go inside of YouTube studio to do it because I can't do it from here anymore for some reason. You used to be able to, it says star comment, put user in timeout, ban user, and delete their comments. Yeah, you used to be able to do it straight from here because I do it on my phone. So I got to go into YouTube studio on my computer at some point and hope I remember to do it when I get there. But I got you. Michelle says, hey, Shay Renee, how are you? How you bees, Michelle? What's going on? Thank you for riding with me this evening. Regia McCrary says, I am glad that Andy is finally dealing with the consequences of her actions because this was long overdue. She kept ignoring the signs from this man and decided to be with him for this long. Yeah, like, Andy, you got to let it go. You have got to let it burn, okay? You should have been left him alone. Now, once Andy got that penthouse in her name outright, there would be no reason for me to be dealing with this man. Like, what are you holding on to? He's trash. When this man had you stranded in the middle of nowhere with one shoe on and one shoe off, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous, that was your sign to go ahead and move on. Move about the vessel. Get on up out of here, okay? I don't know, y'all. It's crazy. But that's it. That I ain't got no more. Sistas wasn't really giving this week like it normally ain't. I can't wait to child. I hope it get better next week. I really please let it get better, Lord. Season 7, please be good to us because this right here, these empty storylines, the dragged out conversations about nothing, child, I can't. But y'all, thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that watches these shows too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.